Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good day today and I hope your weekend was lovely. This is your daily tarot reading for Monday, February 4th, 2019. And as I said before, I am doing the 3-card reading with these decks I don't know very well for Mondays. I'm going to try to continue that to help myself learn them so that I'm continuously able to practice at least once a week with these cards. I probably won't put timestamps in the description because I never remember to. So if you are watching, if you are a usual viewer, or if you're new and you'd like to help me out, please go ahead and put those timestamps somewhere in the comments and I'll add those to the description in the future for future viewers. These Monday readings are kind of timeless readings because, as I have already mentioned, I don't necessarily know this deck, and because I am doing a pick a card. So, as usual, we have the Tarot of the Orishas deck, we have the Fairies Oracle, and we have the Vice Versa Tarot. So let's go ahead and get started. With the Tarot of the Orishas, we have the Smoky Quartz stone. Smoky Quartz is a really good stone for enhancing magical works. It's a wonderful stone for grounding, for transmitting or transferring energy in some way. It's really, really cool to charge this stone for something that you need, carry it with you, and that's going to help you. It's very similar to plain clear quartz. It's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a very versatile stone. It can go with pretty much any kind of magical work that you want. If you don't have clear quartz, smoky quartz can help you out. And especially if you need more grinding or grounding, it's a great stone for that. Okay, so let's see. What do we have with the Tarot of the Orishas? What is our message with the Tarot of the Orishas for whoever's watching this reading? Hi, Kitty. For Monday, February 4th, 2019. What is the guiding message from the Tarot of the Orishas? What can you tell us, Orishas, please, for this day? Monday, February 4th, 2019, please. We have a message from water. I am going to go ahead and pick up this card that came with it because they were kind of stuck together. So we have the 3 of Earth and a message from water here. So what I'm feeling with these 2 cards, especially because water and earth seem to be so, they're not opposites, but they do feel like they are fighting each other in some way, or like they are opposed to each other in some way. I do feel like whoever chose this deck is probably dealing with some trouble making up their mind on something. And I think you're struggling between listening to your intuition and listening to, you know, your logical, rational side. I do think with the 3 of Earth, the message is for you to try to connect a little bit more with nature, try to really get more connected with your natural world, with your most comfortable natural environment, and get in a position where you are feeling grounded, because I do think that's going to help you actually understand your intuition a lot more, and so you're going to be a lot more able to make the right decision for whatever thing you're kind of flip-flopping on today. You are having trouble making up your mind, so get grounded, and then you'll be more able to listen to your intuition. Try to make sure that you are looking at things within a balanced light. Okay, so here we have this mermaid kind of in a shell, and she's got both a white seahorse and a black seahorse, which makes me feel like there's a need to find balance in whatever decision you're making, or really weigh the pros and cons of this situation, weigh both sides, because there is a positive and a negative here, and you really need to look at that. Also, I think if this is more internal, this is something for you to really get in touch with your own positive and negative attributes, your own negative and positive traits. But whatever you do, before you even take that step, make sure you're getting grounded, make sure you're connecting with your natural world, with your natural environment. Cuddle your pets, go out and actually hug a tree, go sit in your yard or sit in the grass somewhere in a park. Whatever it is that can help you just really feel connected with nature and connected with the world. Because that's going to help you understand your intuition a lot more. And it's going to help you be able to make whatever choice you're struggling with today. Okay, so let's see what the book says about the Tarot of the Orishas. Just as I did last week, I'm going to be doing this every week. I will be reading the books. Sorry, I'll be reading what the book says, and before that, I'll be reading my own interpretation, just as you saw, and I'll be doing that with all 3 decks in case you're new to the channel. Thank you, of course, for being here. Let's see what the book says about the 3 of Earth. Since that is your... Or actually, the Message from Water is your card that I pulled. You might not believe it. The Message from Water, upright, represents triumphant victory, maximum pleasure in realizing that you were able to defeat the difficulties, either with or without the help of others. Material and or energetic factors on any level of interpretation, you have resorted to your integrity as a thinking and rational being and defeated base desires and interests as a way to reach your proposed aim. As a result, your plans came true. All this may be hard at the beginning, but not at all unpleasant. If this card appeared upside down, it could represent failure in your thoughts, determinations, unreal dreams or fantasy, carnal or concupiscent desires, I don't know what that word means, a slightly unethical or amoral triumph, failure in different things and at different levels, right? That is what the book says about the Message from Water. I do think the way it feels, it's very positive. And yes, the plans that you are making may be able to come true, even if it's not necessarily easy to achieve them. All right, let's see what the book says about the 3 of Earth. That is not. The 3 of Earth, upright, it could mean a conjunction of work, service, and savings made with great effort, talent, and wisdom, perfect associations. If you pulled it upside down, it would represent selfishness, cynicism, totalitarianism, in sum, ignorance and obstinacy, disunion of effort, and a lack of collaboration. Okay, so according to the book, this upside down could mean that you're just not collaborating well, you're being very selfish. Upright, it means that you are working well with someone else or working well with your circumstances. You're able to save your money. You're very wise. You're very grounded in the way you do things, okay? So that is your message from the Tarot of the Orishas for Monday. Let's move on to our next deck. We have the Fairies Oracle. With the Fairies Oracle, you have the Rose Quartz Stone. Mine's a little bit washed out because I do kind of leave it sitting in the sun sometimes. But the Rose Quartz Stone tends to represent love. It helps enhance self-love. It helps enhance very positive feelings of caring and love and joy. Actually, it's not so much, it's a really good stone if you are looking for love in your life, but I find that it's a better stone for things like self-love, for boosting your confidence, boosting your emotional kind of intelligence and emotional balance and strength, less for finding romance. There are other stones out there for that. There's like carnelian, which is a great stone for passion. Carnelian and rose quartz together might help you in that way, but I do think that rose quartz is more of a soft kind of pink, flowery kind of friendly love. It can be romantic, but it's not necessarily lust-filled, excitable passion. It's more of a soft, romantic, like romantic in the classical sense, kind of playful love that I tend to get from pink quartz or rose quartz. So, let's see what the book says, or haha. Sorry guys, it has been a day. Let's see what card you have from the Fairies Oracle for Monday, February 4th, 2019. What is your card, your message for whoever is looking at the Fairies Oracle for this day, February 4th, 2019? What is the message from the fairies? Please and thank you. And of course, thank you to our higher selves who allow us to connect here in this space and allow us to communicate with one another from across the airwaves. So we had another jumper. we got the Bright Mother, which is actually kind of perfect considering the timing. Like, we just had Imbolc, and if you missed it, on Friday I did a special Imbolc Bridget reading with just the Tarot of the Orishas, so go check that out if you missed it. But the Bright Mother makes me think of Bridget yet again. And then we have the Sage. So with these two cards, I do feel like the Bright Mother, like I said, does make me think of Bridget, and more so makes me think of a very loving, fiery, but not necessarily the most gentle kind of mother, someone who is very much ready to tell you how to get your life together as strictly as she can without hurting you or harming you. The Bright Mother, I think, is a reminder that essentially the universe is very nurturing. She is here for you, even if things seem hard right now, even if things seem dark. At her core, the goddess is here to take care of all of her children. She's trying to help us all by teaching us how to take care of each other and teaching us how to love each other. And I do think that with the Bright Mother, she's just sending you a reminder that you are a divine being, and your purpose here is to help people, especially with the Sage coming out as well. And then we've got the 16 and the 19, and if you look at it, it's basically like the 9 and the 6 are flipped. So I think these two energies are kind of meant to fit in with each other. So you bring this wisdom of the Sage, this masculine kind of doing energy, and you mingle that with the nurturing, loving energy of the Mother, and then you get that kind of direct, this is how you fix things, this is how you heal kind of energy. That's not the kind of energy that's waiting for you to change. It's the energy that's going to hit you in the head and say, listen, if you do not fix this problem, if you do not help that person, if you do not help yourself in some way, you are going to suffer. And I do think that this message here is telling you, you have to remember that you are a divine being. You have to remember that you are wise beyond what your earthly knowledge is right now. You are connected to the wisdom of the universe. You are connected to the goddess. You don't know everything. No one knows everything. And if someone says that because they're connected to the wisdom of everyone, they suddenly are able to access that and know everything, don't trust those people. But you are able to access a certain type of wisdom that is beyond what you naturally know, beyond what you've been taught in school, and maybe even more than what your family knows. I think whoever you are, you might be just like not the black sheep, but the weird sheep in your family. You're the person who is way more connected to these spiritual things for a reason, okay? So whatever that reason is, take that to heart and use that to help guide other people and help heal other people, because I think with the Bright Mother, it's going to be your duty to help show other people the way, okay? You're going to take the wisdom of this Sage, you're going to take the knowledge and understanding, and you're going to heal people, help other people heal through your knowledge, through yourself, through your own actions, okay? This isn't something for you to keep to yourself. This is something for you to put out in the world and share, because you do have a healing nature and a healing ability. You're very sensitive, I think. You may be a younger person, or you may be dealing with children. You may work with children or be preparing to have a child. You may be spending some time with kids today or this week. But those are the people, I think, that need to hear whatever message you have, whatever message of healing and caring and love you have today. Probably direct that towards younger people who are not so jaded, especially if you're like a grandmother or something. Then today is a great day to tell some stories to your grandkids. Just let your wisdom guide you. Let your wisdom help you guide others, okay? So let's see what the book says about the Sage and the Bright Mother. What do you say, Brian Froud, about the Sage and the Bright Mother? I'm sorry, guys, I don't know what that accent is about, but here it is. So, with the Bright Mother. When the Bright Mother is present in a reading, she speaks of a time of fertility, creativity, and nurturing of ourselves or of others. She might indicate marriage or the birth of a child or a deepening of any kind of relationship. She also speaks of giving one's all to life, not holding back. She is like a cornucopia, pouring forth abundance. This may be a time to put the needs of others first, taking care of yourself later. Patience may be needed for the process being discussed. Consider what you have. Acknowledge the people and things in your life, good, bad, and indifferent. This consideration is not to judge, approve, or reject, but merely to recognize that it is present in your life. These are your present fulfillments, the things you have created for yourself, drawing upon the power of unity and the singers, or not, as the case may be. Once you have looked clearly at what is present in your life, you may want to ask yourself what you want to change. If this card was to be seen in a negative light or reversed, then these ideas apply to men as well as women, and they can even apply to institutions such as churches, governments, businesses, charities, and social groups. When we are blocking the bright mother's energy in our lives, we have difficulty giving or receiving nurturing. This may manifest itself physically as well as emotionally. It could mean physical problems such as digestive or eating disorders, or emotional difficulties with giving care and receiving care from others. We may also be unclear about our emotional boundaries. When her energy is twisted, we see the smother mother, who refuses to let those within her care grow up and become independent, crippling them in their adult life. Or perhaps the warped energy becomes the martyr mother, who sacrifices everything for you, whether you want it or not, and then expects you to sacrifice everything for her forever. If we find in ourselves tendencies to do these things, we need to change both our habits and our deep programming, which may require professional help. At worst, the bright mother's energy becomes a fire of destruction, creating burnouts where there should be nurturing. This happens when we give until we are exhausted and don't take time to nurture ourselves or allow others to do so. Rage or cruelty directed at those who rightfully depend on us also falls into this extreme category. Okay, so be careful with that energy, but I do feel like it's more of the you have to take care of other people and nurture other people kind of thing. The sage represents wisdom, hidden knowledge, retreat, old age, and patience. Here we see wisdom and deep understanding. One of the keys of wisdom is to organize, integrate, and simplify one's thoughts. Complexity often leads to confusion. Simplicity is to be valued. This card signifies mental discipline informed by balance, learning, and compassion. Tradition is valued, but appropriate change is accepted. The sage knows when to let go and when to move on. He knows when to retreat and think things over. He compassionately and wisely shares his knowledge with others, teaching by example as well as by precept. The scales of justice are balanced in the sage's hands. This card in a reading also signifies the need for a deep consideration and refined judgment applied with compassion and mercy. When the wisdom of the sage is blocked, artificial or inappropriate boundaries are set between different aspects of life. We become unable to apply learning in one sphere or to other aspects of life, or information is withheld, kept secret when it could benefit others, which in turn would benefit us. Sometimes learning is blocked by the belief that we already have all the answers, but we never actually do. See what I tell you? Twisted, the sage's accumulation of facts and information becomes unwisdom, knowledge misused and distorted, facts distorted for selfish purposes, information used to the detriment of others. There is always a risk of this when we set out to prove something rather than to discover something. Other twists include being excessively critical, being cold and uncaring, or being cynical or embittered. These are all faults of balance. At its worst, knowledge and experience are channeled towards the destruction of the self and others. Okay, that is what the book says. If you didn't notice, I did read both sides without actually saying that it was reversed. But I do think that it is telling you to use your wisdom to take care of other people and help people. Let's see what we have last. We have amethyst for our vice versa deck. Amethyst is one of my favorite stones. It's a wonderful stone. I keep it under my pillow every night because it helps deal with nightmares. It helps deal with weird dreams. It helps enhance crazy dreams. I have always had very, very vivid dreams. Like it's as if I am in another real place. It is physical. It is powerful. Sometimes I know that it's a dream, but even then it's very real, very solid. All the smells, all the things that I feel and touch, all the experiences and emotions are vivid and real. And sometimes they can get very dark, sometimes they can get very heavy, and I will wake up like crying or something. What the amethyst does for me is it kind of helps pull away that heaviness, so that even if I wake up from like a frightening dream, the the emotion, the pain from that, the worries of that tend to fade away a lot quicker, and I don't hold on to that as much as I used to. Amethyst is also a really good stone for any psychic work. If you're doing things like tarot reading or pendulum reading or palm reading or looking at auras or any kind of psychic, clairvoyant, clairaudient work that you're doing, this stone is wonderful and amazing for that, to hold on for during meditation. Keep it in your hands, carry it with you if you're trying to figure out answers. If you really are having trouble listening to your intuition, this is also a great stone for that, okay? So there we have the amethyst with our vice versa deck. Let's see what your message is from this very deck for Monday, February 4th, 2019. What is our message from the vice versa deck for whoever this reading is meant for Monday, February 14th, 2014? That is Valentine's Day. February 4th, 2019. What is the message, please? And thank you. Oh, wait. I'm going to shuffle that one more time because I did a thing. You have the Tower. Oof, this side. Okay, so if you chose the vice versa deck, things may not be going very well for you today. You might just feel like everything's falling apart, everything's going to crap, the world is against you, all your plans are going crazy, electronics aren't working for you, things that you thought you did, you didn't do, and now you have to catch up on your work. You're behind schedule, whatever it is. It just seems like everything's up in flames today, and you don't know how to deal with that. But with this card, I am also getting that it's going to be okay. Whatever is happening feels a lot worse, and it feels really bad than it actually is. But you are going to find when you land, this was for the best. This was because something beyond you, some higher power, or like, you know, just your own manifesting, even if you're not noticing it, is making room for changes for you. They're like knocking everything that's not serving you out of the way. They're making things harder for you. They're making your job harder because they, like, you know deep down, and these beings, whatever it is that's helping you out, they know deep down that it's not right for you. They're making, you know, your relationship harder because things have to fall apart so that you can move through them and find something better. But right now, you're probably dealing with the falling apart stages, and it doesn't look like there's any way out. It doesn't look like there's anything positive going to happen. But I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card because all the other ones got two, and it just feels fair. So, oh, we got a jumper. We got two jumpers. So let's see what they are. So this is a vice versa deck. It's got pictures on both sides, so I have to try to not look at it while I'm shuffling. Otherwise, I'm going to, like, in my brain, probably pick whichever is, like, prettiest or whatever. So we got this. Ah! You have the moon. Amazing. So with this side of the moon, I think it is saying that whatever fires or falling apart things you're experiencing, really try to take that as in stride as you can. I know it's not going to be easy, but you are going to find that after this horrible falling apart, after everything just kind of crashes and goes bad, like I said, it is going to be okay. There is positivity for you, and then you're going to be a lot more able to kind of understand why. Just give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to work through this problem. Don't try to rush through it. Don't try to force things to play out in the way that you want them to play out, because that's just going to make it a lot harder to deal with. Just kind of slow yourself down and give yourself time to understand why this is happening and why you're experiencing this, and just kind of come to a point where you're able to be more calm and accepting about it. Do not panic. Whatever happens today, just don't let yourself panic. Try to keep your head steady. Try to be like I said, calm, and just kind of move through this, and know that as bad as things seem, it's going to calm down soon. It's going to be the storm is going to pass, okay? It is going to pass. You're going to find that you're in a place of peace, where you're in a place of wisdom and growth, and you're connected to, how do I say it? You're connecting to like old knowledge, all right? You're connecting to some really primeval knowledge here, and I do think that the reason, or primeval magic even, because I think that the reason things are falling apart is because you've been manifesting, you've been asking for some change in your life, and finally you're getting the answers, and it just doesn't look like the answers you wanted. But give yourself time and be patient, because whoever's watching, whatever this being is that is trying to guide you, they're doing this for your highest good, and eventually you will see the whole picture, okay? So you just see part of the picture, you just see part of what's happening, you just see the negative and what's falling apart, and you will eventually see the whole truth, but you have to give yourself time to understand it and understand why it happened and why it had to happen now. Then you'll be more equipped to move forward, okay? Because there's something a lot older than us, a lot more powerful than you, trying to help you along, because you've been asking for some changes. This is the answer you've been looking for, okay? So I'm going to check and see what the book says about the tower and the moon. So, the tower on this side. This side. There is no way to prepare for a tower experience other than to know it's coming. Look for the weaknesses in your foundation. Where are you complacent? Where are you vulnerable? Do you have the inner and outer resources you need to deal with big change? It's good to be alarmed when you get the tower card. It's both a wake-up call and a cautionary tale. Don't sugarcoat the message. The time for denial is long past. So yeah, like I said, things aren't going well, but you do need to sit down and face it and really give yourself time to understand why they're happening that way. With the moon, everything looks different by moonlight. More significantly, we look at everything differently. We look at everything differently by moonlight. The dark waters of the unconscious can't be navigated by reason or rationality. Your lunar awareness is heightened now. Hearken to your dreams and encourage them. Make a framework in your life that places importance upon sleep and the dream space. The moon calls forth your intuition and your instinct. The white dog and the red dog, because there are things you need to know that can only be known by moonlight. All right, I'm going to read that last line again. The moon calls forth your intuition and your instinct, the white dog and the red dog, because there are things you need to know that can only be known by moonlight. All right, so like I said, give yourself time to understand what's happening and why it's happening, and you will eventually see the full picture, but you do need to kind of take some time. Try not to panic, but definitely acknowledge what's happening, whatever it is that's creating this kind of tower in your life. And if, like I said, you're trying to figure out some answers, like the book says, listen to your dreams, like with the amethyst stone. Put an amethyst under your bed. It also helps with recalling dreams, with remembering dreams, remembering what happened, remembering things a little bit more clearly. So absolutely, use something that's going to help you remember your dreams, because your subconscious is trying to work through this problem. Whatever it is that's causing so much trouble in your life, I do hope it gets better. Listen to your subconscious. Take some time to really understand why and really face this down, okay? And that is your reading for Monday, February 4th, 2019. Thank you a million times for being here. I will see you tomorrow with your usual daily reading. I am preparing to record the monthly reading. My schedule over the weekend was didn't play out the way I'd hoped it would, and so I'm very much behind schedule on like 500 things. So I will record the monthly tarot and have that to you either by late tonight or sometime tomorrow during the day, okay? Depends on how the rest of my night plays out. It is almost time to feed my cat, so thank you. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful and wonderful evening. Remember always that I love you. Bye!